met Nikki back in like 2013 or 14, and that's when I wrote this piece. I only like recently started thinking of myself as a writer again. It takes a lot of like courage and delusion and aspiration, I think, to think that anybody will want to read what you're gonna write down. But back when I first met Nikki, you were one of the people who always made me feel like, you know, I had a reader and I had somebody who cared about what I wrote. So thank you so much for inviting me. Maybe I'll just put my lanyard on so I can vape as I need to. Anyway, so I wrote this piece in 2013. I've been going through the archives. It's called Hateful Things. 1. Your mom feeds the family dog 4 times a day with bonus treats for good behavior, and the dog gets fat. 1 + 1 = 2. When you chide your mom and suggest a low-calorie alternative to Muffin's favorite chicken snacks, she bursts into tears. She feels you're making parallels between the dog's weight and her own. 2. The boy you've been into for 2 years compliments you in class. Later, he messages you and asks if you want to come over to his place for a drink. So you bathe, trim the essentials, and spend 20 minutes picking out underwear. When you arrive, you find pizza boxes and cockroaches. Your shoes stick to the floor. You fuck him on a pile of his dirty clothes. 3. You come home at 2 a.m. and catch your roommate pissing in the sink. 4. Muffin is now 16 years old and blind, and the vet says she needs a new kidney. Your family decides it's time to put her down, so you prepare for your loss. You grill Muffin a hamburger, and when she eats it in 5 seconds, you make her another. You drive her to the dog-friendly beach an hour away and let her nose a dead seal. Your mom hires a carpenter out of the Yellow Pages to make a tiny casket with Muffin's name etched into it in Gothic lettering. It arrives while Muffin's still alive. Then one morning she's cold and dead in her little dog bed. You put her in the casket, but the lid won't close. A muffin top of fat spilling out over the edge, Dad jokes. Mom doesn't laugh. 5. You get an erection in the locker room again. 6. You've been dating Mark for 4 months now, and it's your longest relationship ever, and you're surprised at how easy it all is. He's 20 years older than you, which is weird, but his apartment has 2 bedrooms and he doesn't even use one of them, and the sex is good. You go over to his place one day unannounced because you're horny and want to surprise him. A twink your age opens the door. He's not wearing a shirt, and when he asks who you are, you tell him exactly who you are, then leave. Later, crying, you get a text from Mark. It was his son. 7. You wear the wrong underwear to Pilates and have to constantly reach your hands down your pants to readjust. The instructor notices and stops coming over to help you on your form. 8. You're on the 405 and the sun is low and hitting your eyes straight on so that you can't block it with the visor. Your phone starts ringing and you reach to pick it up and only look away for half a second, but already it's too late. The car in front of you has jolted to a stop and you crash into it. Then a car rams into you from behind and your head pops forward and whips back against the headrest. 9. When you call your mom and ask her to come pick you up from the ER, she starts sobbing and yelling, blaming you for not calling sooner, and then blaming everyone else for the accident except for you, even though you tell her it was your fault. You hear her seatbelt buckling and car starting and she's on her way. When she shows up, you're dizzy and high from painkillers and can't stand up on your own. You think that right now a good mother would put her arms around you, and then this one does. And you're both crying and you say that you don't blame her for Muffin's death anymore, and she asks what you're talking about. When you can't answer, she lets it pass. 10. This is a hateful thing. When you see yourself through your mother's eyes and find nothing lacking and have to look away. That was a little...